came to 51 Division in November '76, and I've been down here since.
After 37 years of policing the city's downtown east side, Detective Constable Bruce Ward is hanging up his gun and badge. The 56-year-old Toronto cop has had a long and storied career, a career that, along with his life, almost ended 18 years ago when an undercover drug bust went bad. Now, as the 51 Division officer heads into retirement, he shares with us what he remembers of that fateful day in 1993 when he found himself bleeding badly from a stab wound and wondering if he'd ever see his wife and kids again.
It, of course, came to my mind, not seeing my kids again. I didn't know how. I knew it was serious because of the amount of blood that I was losing. But, the paramedics and ambulance were here within minutes, and they got me to St. Mike's.
It all starts here on a rainy November afternoon, much like this one. At the time, crack cocaine had a firm grip on the city, and Ward was part of a special project that was meant to stem the tide of the drug. Now, a known drug dealer had been spotted in this parking lot, and Ward hopped in a taxi and came here intending to make a buy and arrest this drug dealer. But before he knew it, another man, 25-year-old Paul Marks, had hopped into his cab, and things had taken a sudden twist.
The guy wasn't the target that I was looking for, and kind of caught me off guard a little bit.
But you got to go with it, I guess.
Yeah, and this guy seemed to know what he was talking about, and so he directed the cab to drive us down here, and this guy kept on demanding his money, and finally I identified myself as a police officer, and I actually showed him my badge. We struggled in the back of the cab and ended up rolling out of the cab onto the ground and standing up and shaking each other, and he was, striking fists at me. We struggled some more. I actually grabbed his coat and kind of pulled it over his head and held him close to me, and I thought I had him calm down, but when he hit me up in the head, I realized later it was actually the closed knife that he actually had in his hand, and he hit me with it. And when I pulled him close to me, he'd opened up the knife and plunged it into my back, just like a fraction of an inch from my spine. And I was wearing light-colored jeans, and when I looked down at my leg, it wasn't a lot of pain. It was just like stiffness, and I could see the blood coming through my pant leg. And he pulled back, and I could see the knife was still dripping my blood.
Paul Marks, the drug dealer who stabbed Ward, ended up being convicted of drug trafficking and attempted murder. He served 13 years in prison, and as far as police can tell, he's never been in trouble with the law again since. Ward spent about 5 years recovering from his injuries, but he did eventually return to the undercover work that he loves so much.
It's going to be a change in life, but a different pace, and I'm looking forward to it.
You gonna miss it, though?
Oh, definitely miss it. Yeah. Gonna miss it big time.
It's a big part of your life for a long time.
Yeah, it's the only job I've really had, so.
Among his co-workers, I'm told that he's considered to be a living legend. For the Toronto Sun, I'm Chris Doucette.